Batman Arkham Knight is Rocksteady's third Batman game, but the fourth game in the Arkham series, and a very fitting, brutal conclusion. It's a dark, twisted journey that finally starts to reveal the slowly growing cracks under Batman's hardened armour. Oh, and there's a Batmobile. I'm Alanah, welcome to Button Bash.
Just so we're both on the same page here, I fully intend to kill you. But first, we're gonna make you suffer.
In Arkham Knight, everything has once again gone horribly badly for the people of Gotham, which is an unfortunately dead, dull open world. Scarecrow is attempting to fear gas the entire city, rendering anyone in the surrounding areas totally insane, and Batman is slowly taking in more and more of the gas as the game goes on, littering missions with subtle, progressively darkening hallucinations rather than the more direct, holy crap, evade a giant Scarecrow seen in Arkham Asylum. Batman's various transitions into madness are masterfully done and addictive to watch. The Arkham Knight himself has a passionate vendetta against Batman, but discovering who the Knight truly is and what that means is probably more interesting than anything he actually has to say in his broadcasted smack talk, which is probably the same for Scarecrow. They're both pretty cliche and cheesy in dialogue, but their actions are a messed up delight to watch unfold. There are loads of villains and DC characters present in Arkham Knight, actually, including Penguin, Two-Face, Firefly, and the Riddler, who support some of the best, most diverse side missions in the franchise's history. From Batmobile puzzle races with the Riddler to car chases with Penguin and Predator-style takedown missions with Two-Face. There is plenty to do in Arkham Knight. And I'm kind of intentionally just scratching the surface here to avoid even slightly spoiling any of the awesome stuff in store for you. One thing I did do an unfortunately large amount of is restart the game due to bugs and glitches. Playing on the Xbox One, I fell through the map near countless times and had the game freeze on me quite a bit, but let's not dwell on that because there's a lot of stuff to talk about. Of course, most missions, side or main, feature the Bat delivering beatings to the faces of every thug he can find, but the combat in Arkham Knight makes this absolutely welcome. The structure of the combat is the same as previous games. Batman starts out with basic strikes or nicely timed punches dealt out to usually pretty large groups of thugs he's up against. You have to manage punching at the right time, as well as counters, dodging, beatdowns, takedowns, and the use of gadgets if you want to maximize that XP. Something about Arkham Knight is better, though. Whether it's the timing, the sound, or the animation, I'm honestly not sure, but the combat is so satisfying. But when you aren't having a disturbingly good time beating people up, Batman spends most of his time infiltrating various parts of the city, chasing after Scarecrow and foiling his plans with the use of his trusty bat gadgets. A lot of the problem-solving portions of the game, where you often just can't figure out exactly how to get into the next locked room, are a little more pick the right gadget than they are in-depth puzzles. You'll always have one bat thing right for each situation, and if it isn't obvious, there's nothing really stopping you from just cycling through your entire arsenal until something actually works. Aside from some of the Riddler missions, I didn't find any of the puzzles particularly challenging, but I still enjoyed them all, at the very least. One of your new bat things is the Batmobile. An abomination of a tank car that has giant tasers strapped to it, can be controlled remotely in sticky situations, and features a winch, nice for pulling down walls or what have you. It has two modes, a drive really fast mode and a tank mode, where it's slower but can move around much more precisely and has rockets. If you saw my first impressions video, I really hated the tank stuff. There was way too much tank combat and it's all far too drawn out, having you just strafe and shoot one or two different kinds of tanks for, I don't know, 20 minutes at a time. Thankfully though, the latter half of the game does cut back on the tedious Batmobile junk. Because if we wanted to play a tank game, we'd just play World of Tanks. Its initial frequency, combined with how damn dull it is, makes it one of the weakest parts of the game, but it's almost excusable in favor of a whole lot of dark, kind of shocking stuff that pulls you through the main story, never knowing quite what horror you'll face next. Arkham Asylum is still definitely my favorite game in the series, and if you're new to Arkham games, I beg you to start with that. But Arkham Knight is still a great game with plenty to offer, especially if you're a comic book fan, actually. There are plenty of references to iconic Batman comics littered throughout the game. If you aren't, it's still one hell of a ride. I'm Alanah, thanks for watching Button Bash.